breaking news from 8 News Now.
And good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today at 8 News Now, the special edition. I'm Sheree Johnson.
And we have team coverage today, but first we start with Scott Daniels, who is live, where this shooting today of 2 policemen and an innocent bystander at a Walmart, that all got started today. Scott?
In total, 5 people are dead. That includes 2 Metro police officers. This all happened around 11:30. And if you look right now, still, the parking lots of both the Walmart, where the scene is still going on, and the restaurant next door, CC's Pizza, where this all started, still on lockdown. When we got here around 11:30, witnesses told us that 2 suspects, a man and a woman, both in their 30s, walked into the restaurant holding guns. They shot the officers at point-blank range. They were apparently just eating lunch. Then the 2 suspects, before they left, said something along the lines of, "This is a revolution." We ran into one witness outside of the CC's parking lot. He said he talked to the suspects before they made their way to the Walmart next door.
They had a backpack and I saw their gun in their hand, and he just told me to tell the cops that it was a revolution and he had just killed 2 cops inside CC's.
And that's where they took off to the Walmart next door. Inside there, police tell us they shot an innocent bystander and killed that person, then took their own lives after realizing that police had them surrounded. Now, if you look back live at the CC's Pizza parking lot, still, the parking lot is on lockdown. No one's allowed to go inside except for police, where they have it all taped off for blocks. And again, let me remind you, in total, 5 people have died. That includes 2 Metro police officers and both suspects. Reporting live, I'm Scott Daniels, 8 News Now.
All right, thank you, Scott. This entire investigation began around 11:22 this morning when, as Scott said, those 2 people walked into a CC's Pizza, that's at Nellis and Stewart, and shot both officers, took their equipment, and then went next door to the Walmart.
That's just unbelievable. They're sitting inside the CC's restaurant, and the people just come in with a gun.
We have some pictures now of the police officer, one of the police officers shot inside the restaurant, who was being taken to UMC. We now know that both officers shot inside CC's Pizza have expired. Also, 1 person at the Walmart shot dead, and then the 2 suspects, the 2 assailants, apparently in a suicide pact, also shot themselves. So, as Scott said, live from the scene there at Nellis and Stewart, 5 people in all dead this afternoon in this unbelievable shooting on the east side.
Right, and I mean, just that area, we've had so many shootings where people are just opening fire. I mean, either at a mall, at a school, so many types of incidents like these, but we're still waiting to find out whether or not the officers were in fact the target in this situation.
Well, and as Scott mentioned there, the 2 assailants uttered something to the effect of, "Tell the police the revolution has begun." What that means, we may never know, but it certainly shows that something was planned, perhaps premeditated here. They walked into the store, CC's Pizza, and shot the 2 officers with no warning. The officers had no time to react. That's rather cold-blooded. So from that and from the shooting of the innocent victim next door at the Walmart, we can see that there's 2 people here who are apparently very ruthless.
That's right, and not just these officers, but also another just innocent bystander, someone, an innocent person inside that CC's, also a victim today.
Yep. As we mentioned, this all began just before the noon hour on the east side near Stewart and Nellis. We have some pictures here of the scene where 2 officers are talking between each other during the investigation, which immediately followed. Apparently, the 2 assailants realized that they had been surrounded at the Walmart, behind the Walmart, and were unable to get away. And apparently, perhaps, anyway, we believe that they had an agreement beforehand to shoot each other or to shoot themselves in a suicide pact. So in all, as we said, 5 people dead, 2 officers, 1 bystander at the Walmart, and both assailants.
And Dave, another interesting thing, there were so many just different facts and different things pouring out on social media, different people that may have either been inside that Walmart or inside that CC's, sending us tweets and Facebook messages, who just were so afraid, had no idea what was going on.
And of course, all those messages that come across from social media are all great leads, so to speak, and yet a lot of those eyewitness Eyewitnesses those are unconfirmed reports.
Right.
And so we always follow through as a journalistic organization to see exactly which of those social media accounts are newsworthy and can be confirmed by police. We're expecting a news conference by police here in the next hour or so. We're told by 4 o'clock this afternoon, so that's an hour and a half away or so, in which we hope to get a lot more information and facts from the police, from the investigators handling this case this afternoon. On the right there, you see some pictures from UMC where investigators are continuing to follow their comrades who were shot this afternoon.
And Dave, I mean, this comes just before the primary election, where the talk right now in Nevada is about public safety, and really not just in Nevada, but around the nation. You know, how do we keep citizens safe? How do we keep law enforcement officers safe? So law enforcement safety, public safety, a huge concern right now.
It certainly is. And Cherie, I think we have some sound now to show you of the shooting, the investigation at the Walmart.
They entered and they shot and killed one citizen. Responding officers immediately began to engage the suspects, who then went to the back of the store and engaged in some sort of suicide pact. We had a number of officers entered the store engaging the suspects, and the suspects are both now deceased.
Okay, and that's the first time we've seen Assistant Sheriff McCahill with an explanation of what happened there. We also have some sound coming into the studio now that we have not yet seen either, and that is explaining, can my producer again tell me what it is we're seeing? How many witnesses saw what happened? So let's take a look at that right now.
Additional information later on. I can't give you any updates on the status of the officers. As you can tell, this is a very complex, very dynamic crime scene, and our investigation is continuing. We have literally 1,000 or more witnesses, and it's going to take us a while, but very important to know that this scene is stabilized, the situation is now safe, and there is no further danger to the public.
What a thing for any shopper to see on a quiet Sunday afternoon in June. Again, Assistant Sheriff McCahill, they're explaining what happened. This is an official now telling us exactly what they think happened there at the scene. Just incredible for people to have to witness that on a Sunday afternoon.
I know, just a quiet day, you know, inside of CC's, a place that you would never imagine something of this magnitude. But we have crews all over the valley in different locations bringing us the latest information. And as soon as we get that information, we're passing it along to you.
And anytime a police officer is involved in a shooting, much less shot, much less 2 officers shot, there is a department-wide response that is very impressive and certainly heightened. So in this case, we can imagine the place is crawling with investigators, with officers helping out with the investigation. There we can tell you that Nellis and Stewart has been secured. There is no danger, but there's likely not much traffic getting through either there at the CC's Pizza restaurant or at the nearby Walmart.
At this point, information for police is so critical because they want to get us the most accurate information in a timely manner, but there's so many different reports of what happened, and so it's taking officers, you know, they want to meticulously make sure they listen to all these interviews just to find out exactly, get to the bottom of what happened here today.
Yeah, and we are expecting, again, some word, official word, in a press conference, a news conference from the department coming up around 4 o'clock, unless they happen to move that up. But we're covering that. We're live at the scene, and we're live at UMC, where the officers were taken after it was determined that they had, in fact, expired from the shooting this afternoon. This is right before noon on the east side. Stewart and Nellis at a CC's Pizza restaurant.
All right, and we're waiting. We have another reporter on scene that we will soon check in with to find out more information. But at this point, again, information just so critical for law enforcement officers as they're trying to discover exactly what happened. And we heard that the gunman, as you said, Dave, just seconds before opening fire, just spouted words about what they were planning to do, and we're still trying to, discover exactly what that meant.
The revolution has begun, supposedly, is what they said. Other patrons in the restaurant at the time heard them say something to that effect. Tell the police the revolution has begun. Now, whether this is part of a larger effort to attack police, we of course cannot know that. But we know that days like this are the worst nightmare for the sheriff's department, particularly Sheriff Gillespie. It takes these things very hard. Of course, any of his officers that are shot and killed takes a big hunk out of their ethic and just their general disposure about what it's like to be a police officer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just how dangerous this job could be. Two of their own killed today.
We will be back with more coverage as the day permits, and we have a live news conference, we believe, going on at 4 o'clock. We may be back before then if we have more information. We thank you for your patience with our coverage.